Mailbag preview show, episode 278, joined by Jack Dickens and Rob Scurry. Myself, fresh off a good win on the preview show, tipped Mustang Valley.
That's a PB for Dutch runnering on the Mailbag.
Yeah, it got there very quickly.
Hell, Jesus Christ.
That's all I've been thinking about.
I was still dark about the thing I tipped, the Waterhouse. It looked a bit fat, and Kathy on the Waller first upper should have been on it. Converge, never been one of mine.
What did I tip on the show?
Stretton Angel, so you were a bit stuck not to get a result.
For old Ketamine car, honestly.
Yeah. The best thing about Mustang Valley was it was $3.40 when I tipped it. It got into $2.30 and back out to $3.90. So worked perfectly for the show, for the recording.
Update on the pots, please.
Thank you.
What's the update on the pots?
Oh, sorry. Scurry still in front, 61.6. Jack drops to third, 50%. Disgraceful. And I jump up to 56.
I'm coming last.
Yeah, well, I've cancelled out Benny because he doesn't show up. So he's dropped. Yep. But a massive weekend of racing ahead, both at Rosehill and Caulfield. We've got the Group 1 Golden Rose, and we've got the Group 1 Underwood at Caulfield.
Rob, I'm saying top 5 races on the calendar, Golden Rose.
100%.
It's right up our alley for the 3-year-olds going through their grades, which as many other people we like probably a bit more than most. But also, I reckon as a younger punter or a part-timer when you're starting, it sort of signifies spring. It's on. It's a bit of a passage race to the good stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Stories of so many good horses, stallion making race. It's a proper Group 1. It should get an extra plus or something. The winners of this race and even the runners up are often great horses.
Indeed, perfect. Straight into it at Rosehill. Let's start with race 4, the listed Heritage Stakes over 1,100 metres for 3-year-olds. Couple here, Osmosis and Royal Tribute, both look like they'll be up on speed going at each other. Is that how we see it, Rob?
I don't know. I'll look at Roden's map on Sunday.
Sorry, Jack. Is that how you see it?
I wasn't listening. What race we're talking about?
Race 4, Osmosis, Royal Tribute, look like both speed horses.
I did see Osmosis.
Right.
Trial.
Robertos and I we need to come clean. We're building accountability. We've had a little chitty chat about this race already.
Sure, we have. I saw Osmosis trial between races. I think it was at Canterbury. It looked very sharp.
Royal Tribute, I think has a little bit of an edge versus Osmosis. Love the map. They're both going to be there fighting tooth and nail for the lead. Do they overdo it? We'll find out. Had a really good chat to Tommy Papley last night, and we agreed that the 7 Stanislaus just represents extreme value there at $34, was it, John?
35.
Yeah, it's about that.
Yeah, I think it's a phenomenal way to kick off your Saturdays each way. Stanislaus. Zachy Lloyd. Perhaps love Zachy Lloyd. Do you love Zachy Lloyd?
Oh, look, I've been in and out with him. I'm getting back in. You're involved.
The same thing happened with him. I thought when we started that show, it was kind of like, back end of winter. So, it's understandable to have like these lesser knowns in your top 3. But as the prize money returns, I expected him to be, I don't know, Zachy.
Yeah, he weighs about 50 kilos. I noted he was on the Altivo on last Saturday. They obviously got a very high opinion of him to put such a lightweight rider on a big horse, or maybe they just don't know what they're doing. A horse too.
With that race, Osmosis did beat Royal Tribute back in June. Started $1.85 versus Royal Tribute $3.50. Same. It was at Ramwick, but same distance. But and yeah, There'll be 1, 2 and run again. So didn't mind the chances of the 9 Fire Lane at big odds. It was pretty good in the Rosebud when held up for a while there. So
I just thought I think Timmy Clark suits Royal Tribute big time.
Mhm.
And it's had maybe just a little bit more residual fitness, but obviously that's irrelevant because I'm going to just do as I'm told from Roberto Scuzz from the yard. Mailbag.com.au, accountable betting advice delivered to you via the app. Eyes on ponies. That's literally what Rob does for a living. So we just look and wait and see what he sends through. But I'd anticipate that Gay's horse is a little bit fitter and more wound up than Osmosis, but it is a sprinting race. So how relevant is it? You do you. I just thought that this thing's win at Newcastle was like proper. There was excuses to start prior at Newcastle. You look through his setup, like he started $5 versus Liberated. That's going to go around in the Golden Rose. That was sort of good enough for me to justify the price and have a little spec at it, bruh.
All right. Perfect. We'll skip the 2,400 meter Group 3, Rob, unless you've got anything to add there.
Yeah.
No? Cool. Straight into the Golden Pendant Group 2 for fillies and mares over 1,400 meters. Bit of a repeat of the Shirako with Zoo Gotcha and Espiona. Is that here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, a tissue's there.
A tissue. Yeah.
What? The Waller horses.
Which horse would you buy if you could buy one?
Well,
got him.
A tissue would be worth plenty. Group 1 winner, wouldn't it? Savabeel.
Yeah. So Gotcha. She won the surround.
Yes.
Yeah, probably a tissue. Look, I can't believe I got in the wrong. I backed her at 30-1 in a Coolmore 2 years ago. I thought she was, just about the best type then in that field. She missed the start by 8 lengths or something and didn't want to race at the time. But God, she looked good first up. Yeah, look, Banana Queen, I can't stand. Been on the wrong side of it so many times. Most recently in the Tibby, we finally dropped off it and it's knocked us off. But yeah, she's a belter, nice looking horse. Expect that to be forward. Could parade very, very well. Interesting. It's the only one I think that could possibly beat one of the Wallers and gun to the head. I don't know. Ryan Moore's there on the day. Exciting for Chris. And João Moreira, I thought put a bit of pace into racing yesterday at Warwick Farm and maybe that, he could do something on speed horses because they often go too slow, these good horses. Jack.
That's true.
Did you see João yesterday getting a double at Warwick Farm?
Yeah, I did.
They just seem to run.
I bet into one race, experimenting with a few new things I'm trying at personally. Bet into one race at Warwick Farm. I was on the last 3 horses in run. I laid the favourite win in place and the favourite pissed in. So still got a fair bit of ground to make up. But I watched every race because I'm working on something.
Yep. Okay, cool.
I thought Espiona here, Rob. PB career-wise, last 200 metre sectional first up. Could it sort of improve as a 5-year-old mare? Has she got scope to get better?
She's a 5, but she's I've said it many times. I'd struggle to find her. Like through her up to now, she's growing into herself more and more, but she's like the 5th best type here or 7th best type in this 8-horse field. She's not that special to look at.
Nash and Waller are extremely profitable. 25% pot, almost you could say 26% pot from our last 100. Their A2E's out just through the roof. I thought she represented some value. Inside draw, Nash. And I'm a bit nervous to say this now, but the other horse I quite like here is last start Group 3 winning mare by So You Think.
Oh, fuck off.
For G. Ryan and Alex Siu, Banana Queen.
We don't talk about Banana Queen anymore. It's gone.
Yeah, we've sunk about 10 units into it, and it just cost us like on the Tibby. Just so annoying, so annoying.
I like Espiona and the Banana Queen in race 6.
All right,
okay,
perfect.
Move on.
Race 7, the Shannon 1,500 meter Group 2. Rob, have you been on Crosstalk? Were you on that first up?
No,
no?
I wasn't.
Okay.
I was on it first up last prep when it got done by Zarak. But yeah, look, I'm not sure where that horse is in its career. You know, it's what is it? You know, is it a mile or is it a 2,000 meter horse?
I think you can say the same thing about every horse in this race.
Seems to be gone. Crosstalk.
Possibly. I think you could be right. Kerwin's Lane, well, you know, that's sort of a 1,400 meter horse.
Mm-hmm.
Looks impossible. I've got nothing. Cepheus is not a flashy looker, big chestnut.
I thought it was pretty average. I just watched the replay before at Eagle Farm, where Williamsburg comes out of as well. I thought they both went just okay, but
wet tracker Williamsburg.
I'd agree. I don't have an opinion in this race.
All right, let's skip over that quickly. Then we get to the Golden Rose.
Ooh.
Who wants to kick us off in this magnificent race?
Speed. Moravia, Liberated, maybe Butch Cassidy, maybe King Colorado, cylinder thereabouts. NCAP kicks from 3. I reckon Charmstone will kick up from 1. D Lane. Militarized, blinkers on, Uncle Chris.
Marrera.
Smoking Joe. Barrier 2. I expect a moderate amount of intent. Don Corleone, Shinzo probably go back. Shinzo, Barrier 10's not the best setup for it. Nadal needs to make a big call from Barrier 13 and then General Salute and snap back, bring it up from the rear. But phenomenal race. I think there's an enormous opportunity to bet because of the amount of percentage that King Colorado takes up here. I don't think it will win if it got a 50-meter head start. The map's awful for it. And therefore, I think we have to sort of try and get into our work and find a way to bet. And if you look at the punting form stuff a little deep, like pretty deeply, you go back through a few of the recent meetings. I think if you had to bet on it right now, you're going to say it's going to be rails and run as opposed to 2 and 3 wide suited. So that even helps me get rid of King Colorado even more, who's $7 chance here. And I love Shinzo. I absolutely love it. I love the setup by Chris. I love the trials. I've watched a few of them while watching other trials. I think he's absolutely airborne and I expect him to improve off his 2-year-old career. But I hate Barrier 10. So I'm left with basically 2 horses. And it's Charmstone, who's almost a new horse as a 3-year-old. Her SP profile as a 2-year-old said she was good, and you can tie it in to these horses. It's like she started really short prices in good races. She's undefeated as a 3-year-old. Her win at Moonee Valley was arrogant and just beast-like, as was her win at Caulfield. She's been not suited both starts. She will be suited here, I predict and hope. D Lane's absolutely airborne. He won this race last year. I think it's just a could start favourite, particularly if we've seen evidence, Rob, in the previous 7 races that it is inside. And obviously, I don't bet here for a living, so it might not be rails and run, but that's just what I've gone with. And then the other horse that I like is Militarized. Blinkers on. Joe, Uncle Chris needs to do a job for the big stallion owners. You know, next year Chris will have the Newgate horses and the Coolmore horses. How can he lose if he gets the job done here? I think it's going to get a really good run. I'm banking on rails and run. I'm banking on both horses needing luck, but I think at $8.50 and $6, I can soundly have a bet there. That's how I see the race.
Rob?
Jack, I'm totally in agreement with you, Jack. Sorry, Jono. I put up a tweet, just Golden Rose, and I thought the Melbourne filly might start favourite, could go up favourite, even though it's never run in Sydney, which is, I think, the big unknown with it. You know, you are taking a punt there. I also love Militarized. I thought it came back super. If it was a
last 100, fastest last 200 in the run to the Rose, Rob.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. I gave it a big rap on the. You know, it's not a horse that it's a little done deal kind of thing. So for me to give it such a big rap first up, I was surprised. I think that was the NCAP race. Jack, you've got to be scared of him. He's also drawn really well. This is a horse that's looked fat every start. He still looked a bit fat, but the best he's ever looked. carried Brett Preble. Surely a chance there, Jack. But so I think it's 1, 2, and 3. Cylinder looks superb, but I think he's more of a Coolmore Stakes horse. I guess him and Shinzo will probably meet there again. But yeah, I'm prepared to half risk him that he might not love the 1400 if they go quick.
Yeah, I think we have to preface. I just love this race and want to bet. If Cylinder and Shinzo were drawn 1 and 2, they'd probably be the two horses I would be betting. Just think it's a tricky situation for him. Oh, yeah, I do wish NCAT was drawn 8 too, so I could get rid of it. It is going to be thereabouts. I agree. But I'd sort of have, if we did 4 numbers, it'd be like 13, 1, 2, and 3. That's how I see it.
I did the same thing with King Colorado's price. I thought it was so short. I looked through and I quite like the setup. It was goes back from weight for age back to 3-year-olds and nice trial, very nice trial in between. Made up a stack of ground in the last sort of 200, 100 meters of the trial. But then I looked and saw $7. I was expecting double figures. So,
yeah, I think that's how you need to look at betting. Like it wouldn't surprise me if it won, but it deserves to be $15, $16, I think.
Yeah.
When I saw it in the yard, I've never seen it before. I was like, "What is this?" It's a funny shaped horse. I'm not sure if it, we still don't know if it's really good or not. I think. Oh, maybe it is. One at Group 1 is a 2-year-old, but we'll see if it trains on.
All right, perfect. That'll do us for Rosehill. That's the Black Kite races out of the way. We'll hop on over to Caulfield. Jack, did you want to drive here?
Yeah. How much longer we got left?
It doesn't say yet, but we haven't had the warning yet, so go for it.
I thought race 1 and 2, particularly 2, just stink. Always Appies, like we backed that, God bless it, last start, but like job done, short enough. Maybe Gorillo, but tough. Race 2, Yark. Race 3, Red Card's $1.60. I think Red Card's going to get a charmed run, and like I just see $1.60 and I want to say go fuck yourself. What am I going to do to get you beat? But I don't really want to do that to myself, so I've let that go. Race 4, potentially my best bet probably at Caulfield is number 11, Yellow Sam. Wirramir Pin replaces someone, Bo Mertens, whose ride wasn't bad. It was wide. I think it'll be wide again, but I think a 6-meter rail wide's better than it was last start. It gets a really nice weight swing on Nunthorpe, who they cornelled the race. They're both coming through last start. I think the form around Air Red Morning's fragile and it'll drift. And Yellow Sam will shorten. I think we'll win. It's a good race. It's a deep race. But I just really like Yellow Sam. I think he's ready now, or she maybe is ready now. And that's how I see that. In race 5, phenomenally named horse here for Ben, Will, and JD Hayes. Mark Zara jumps on, if you don't mind. 1 start, 1 win. Geelong. It's a glorious win. Go and watch the replay. That's how good horses win races. It's trialled since. I text Lindsay and I said, back this horse. It's the wrong price. And he's like, oh, fuck, it trialled really good too. We were betting before it trialled really good. This is race 5, the 15. Perfect. P-O-I. Perfect. Perfect. Beautifully named horse. It'll roll forward, I think, from a wide draw. Mark Zara on, as I said. I think it'll be wide off fence, which I think is where we want to be at Caulfield. So the flip reversal of Rosehill, Robbie. Trying to dodge horses are going to get buried on the fence at Caulfield. Who knows, they might even water it more to confirm that for us, like they have done recently at that joint. But I just thought that it was a phenomenal price. It was $10. What price is it now? Might still be $10.
$6. It's somewhere near where you thought it was going to should be.
Evolved the product, and if you go to the mailbag.com.au and buy my stuff, we're on at 10s. I also think the horse that got scratched, Miss Aria, was a fat price too. Would have backed both, but they scratched it. So keep an eye for it wherever it goes. Yeah, $6.
Aprilia is an ex-Kiwi that hit the line well in the Valley first up in Australia. It's a Group 1 place getter over 1,400 metres. Should be wide and sort of swooping into it somewhere from midfield. Can definitely improve up to 14, I thought.
It's a great race. This Miracle of Love's hard to profile. Comes from... Where do you come from?
Sydney. Well, racing.
No, well, it's actually coming from like Scone, Doomben, Eagle Farm, trialled at Scone. Now comes here.
Dundee or Miss Finland, Rob.
$3.60. Yeah, I think it needs to improve a fair bit to justify the price. Gets Blake Shin, so it's going to get every possible. I actually really, really like Coco Sun as a horse, and it's getting towards a price where you might sort of have a little bit of an investment upon it. Wait and see what Lindsay says about the trials. He loves that horse. He was tipping me that horse before it even raced. That's how much he loves that horse. So we'll just see how we go. We're going to be in a good position now. We've taken 10s that thing. So yeah, we won't be with Miracles of Love. That's all I know.
Mm-hmm.
Where else do you want to go, Rob? What race do you want to talk about?
Oh, it's probably the 3-year-old. V8 was a nice looking 2-year-old. It came up to Sydney. I really liked it. I backed it first off. Jacko gave it a good push on, he said, pretty much said best type. Why can't that win again?
I thought he said heavy.
Yeah, but heavy, but best type.
Yeah, so a big stamp from Jackson to improve this preparation. The problem I have with this race is that the majority of these horses are aimed at a race in 2 or 3 weeks or whenever it is. And that grates me up about betting into it too heavily. V8's drawn 2.
Okay. So that would normally be a good thing at Caulfield if you kind of, go forward.
Yeah, but like how much intent is there? Then I'm thinking not much. Then I'm thinking, stand by. Ben Mellum's going on because D-Lane's going to Sydney to ride Charmstone. Maybe Ben wants to show me he can ride this horse well. Now I'm getting into my head. I'm getting head noirs. So I'm just sort of I'm likely to just not offer a shot in this race. I think Stapati will improve off whatever it does here and probably deserves to start favourite. Maybe the best roughie in the race is Snow Patrol. Sandown and was inconvenienced at the top of the straight. It's not in the steward's report, but it was. I think it'll improve. It started 480 there versus Southport Tycoon. So if you open up that race on your punting form, Southport Tycoon started 340 versus this horse 480. And now you're getting $10, $12 versus $31. And you do you. But if I had to bet, and you never have to, gamble responsibly, bet within your means. 1-800-858-858. I'd have a small each way bet on Snow Patrol.
All right. We go to the Group 1, race 9.
Yep.
Or did you want to touch on race 8 at all?
Nah, save something for the Zoom tonight.
Cool. The Underwood.
Tough. I really want to back attrition. But it's drawn Barra 15. Where does it go? If I go back, it's not good for it. If I go forward and don't get in, that's not good for it. Do you back it and just pray for a Mellum miracle? Maybe if Yellow Sam's pissed in, perfect's done the job, you do. Maybe if they both run second, not suited, you just sort of go, nah, not today. The two horses that set up as bets with better maps would be Tuvalu and Attrition for sure. I think they're fairly priced at the same time. but it is gambling here with these. They're barrier 13 and 15 currently. I think Alligator Blood's going to get every possible from 8. I think the run last week is perfect for it. Fascinated by the narrative bag and his ride on it. There's a lot of people that don't really bet and don't win if they do bet. Tell them blokes who've won 100 Group 1s, or I don't know how many Group 1s Willow's won, but he's won a shitload too. A lot of people telling them how to ride horses all of a sudden, and it's doing my head in. I wouldn't be surprised if Alligator Blood won at all. I just expected to get sort of $6-7. Like, they haven't really gifted you the opportunity to bet here. I think Without a Fight is too short. At the same time, I think he's a phenomenal animal, and he's going to be right thereabouts in a Caulfield Cup and potentially a Melbourne Cup. But Barry 11, he goes back. Luna Flare goes back. Soulcombe's probably the horse, probably the map horse and the inform horse for Uncle Chris, Rob. I expected Soulcombe to be like the same price as Alligator Blood. They'd both be about sort of $5.
Well, then you got the other uncle horse at the same sort of price, Lindemann, out of the proper weight for age form in Sydney.
SF, baby.
Yeah, Huey Bowman, barrier 3, can go very versatile. It's got to be some kind of chance. I want to back Alligator Blood, but I can't take 350. I want at least 550.
And we're confirming Moanga's well and truly gone.
I might have a cent on him.
I see. He's actually paying more than I anticipated he would be. But
it's an overreaction because they've done their money and they're sick of backing him because he was like $8 again last week, and Will strongly backed.
46 bucks. I think he ran second in this. Did he to Alligator Blood maybe at Sandown? Yeah, last year, like 46, just for him to find something from a horrible gate. But you'd be sick if you didn't have $1 on him, Rob.
Look, it's been a shameful horse for me.
I think maybe it's just the race is too hard. I wouldn't be surprised if like Bank Mer won. If Duas, I hated my ass. If it jumped out of the ground and run a race, Nonconformist goes good. Caulfield's a good horse. Vow de Clare, like, at what price point do you have to not lose on it? Because you're probably 300 to 1.
Wasn't Smoking Romans about the favourite for the Turnbull Stakes? Like,
it started 450 in a Caulfield Cup.
Yeah. Why is it 50s?
I don't know.
Nonconformist wasn't actually bad in the Mimsy, so they went really slow. It was well back and obviously improved pretty sharply to 1800.
I reckon it goes well at Caulfield, that horse. I think it beat their Kiwi one day, or maybe it was a close finish anyway. It was a good Kiwi filly. Probable.
Yeah. And it's paying
Caulfield.
It's paying 51. So
great race. A lot of betting to be had.
Anything race 10, Jack, worth noting, or should we leave it there for Caulfield?
Save some for the Zoom, brah.
Okay. Now we get to the good stuff. Now I'm going.
Oh yeah, off we go.
I'm going an each way bet here.
He flares up, right in here, Rob. Like, he gets wobbly, and he just goes like real. Like, if Jono was a batsman, he'd just play the V, he'd make 100, he'd come out the next innings and he'd try and like lap one first ball.
Going for a horse in the Group 3 metric mile at Awapuni, race 7. It's a horse number 10, Calico, drawn barrier 1, I believe. Let me just double check that. Drawn barrier 3, sorry. Knew it was drawn well. Goes very well at Awapuni. Lisa Allpress is on. Very good jockey. Wasn't suited back to the inside in a decent race last start. Loves the mile. Loves Awapuni. I think it's about 16 and 4s or 16 and 380. I'm going to go each way for my best bet there. Just to hold that lead and hopefully boost it even further. Rob, best bet?
Look, I've already missed the price on this, so I can't really tip it to the subs, which pretty much makes it a certainty. Is Peace Officer number 7 in race 2 at Rosehill. Pretty much every time I haven't got the subs, I'm not gonna. I think the price is gone. I should have got on this earlier, but yeah, Peace Officer with National Wheeler on. I thought it was a nice one of the better looking 2-year-olds. Just got wet tracks. I backed it first up at Wang. But yeah, it's some horses that have sort of found their grade. It's still on the way up.
Is that a midway? Is it?
It's a midway.
Yeah, midway. All right, cool. Jack, best bet?
I don't know if it's going to be Yellow Sam or the other one.
You were pretty confident Yellow Sam.
I'll flip my vote. Blackberry Ice is Yellow Sam. Yellow Sam.
Yellow Sam. There we go. Perfect. All right. From a bloodstock, we were due to have True Patriot run first up at Ipswich, and the meeting got abandoned, I think 10 minutes before the first. He was 21 into 5. Devastation there, unfortunately. What can you do?
Sounds a little bit personal.
Very personal, yeah.
I hope you notified our owners before you knocked off that price, John.
I did. Indeed. And I think that's it. I don't think we've got anything this weekend, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the racing. But
had some exciting horses jump out Monday, and exciting times ahead.
Indeed.
So yes, when are those sort of 3-year-olds running? How far? How long?
Until Valhalla will be the first one by the looks, possibly
in Sydney or Melbourne.
In Sydney.
Kick off in New South Wales, not in Sydney. I hope not. I would, as a rule, not like our horses to kick off in town ever.
Hawkesbury early October, I think was the preferred plan. So,
well, speaking of Hawkesbury, I think I'm going to send a subs a tip for the last at Hawkesbury.
I priced race 5 and just fell down a rabbit hole.
Stop pricing races, you maniac.
I'm trying to get better.
All right, perfect.
Never stop learning, Rob. Anything else we should talk about?
That's us.
Footy, prelim final.
Are we voting yes or no? Footy.
You're not allowed to talk about that, man. Yes or no.
Oh, I raised it on the radio. Oh, fuck.
You guys wouldn't have heard, but Australia lost to Fiji in the Rugby World Cup.
No one's heard. I told you. We never know. No,
about that. Only blue bet. Michael Sullivan's the only one betting on yes or no. He's got no at $1.12, folks.
$1.12?
$1.12.
It's a pretty smart play, Bob. Yeah, I won't say that.
Pioneer of online.
The trolls betting will come. They want to anger the righties. I think Collingwood will win just. Brisbane will kill them. And the rugby league's almost unwatchable. It'll just be annihilation.
Oof. The poor Warriors fans. All our New Zealand viewers out there are crushed.
Oh, they got to go up into the cauldron.
We got Penrith, are we talking?
No, Broncos.
Penrith will wipe the storm like a dirty ass, I think, and the poor Waratahs have to go. They've gone to Penrith, I'm thinking Wars. They have to go from. They've gone to Sydney, then an hour and a half to Penrith, then back to New Zealand, played a game. Now they've got to go to Brisbane. It's too much.
All right, we're running out of time here, so we'll call it there. Thanks for joining us.
Gamble responsibly. 1-800-858-858. Have a phenomenal weekend, an outstanding weekend. The mailbag.com.au, the home of accountable betting advice. Bye for now.